Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting episode of Gay Let's Play Dragon Age 2. As you can plainly see, it's that time again. It's beach party banter time. That's right. Yeah. Once again, we are going to take this time to exhaust all of the party banter that we can exhaust before wrapping up Act 2. So, once again, if you're not interested in listening to party banter, feel free to skip this video and just go on to the next one. So, without further ado, take it away, Seb.
Blondie, I don't mean to sound critical, but have you considered a new line of work?
Such as?
Pretty much anything. I don't think Renegade Mage has a bright future, or any retirement plan.
It feels good to be captain of the guard, yes?
No, I will not change the patrols around your mansion again. There's already been too many questions.
You wound my pride with such accusations.
But you were going to ask.
Eventually.
I'll look at the roster and see what I can do.
That's sweet, Aveline. Aveline is really changing a lot through the course of this game. I mean, she's still high-strung, but not as much as she used to be.
Is that supposed to be Andraste's face on your crotch?
What?
That belt buckle thing. Is that Andraste?
My father had this armor commissioned when I took my vows as a brother.
I'm just not sure I'd want the maker seeing me shove his bride's head between my legs every morning.
So, what duties did you have? As a slave, I mean.
Not this again.
I heard that Tevinter slaves are kept oiled so they glisten. Did your master oil you up? Did you glisten for him?
I was his bodyguard.
Always close at hand. Always within reach. Glistening.
You have an entire story written in your head already, don't you?
With pictures. A story with pictures.
Oh, cheer up, Blondie. You're making me cry just looking at you.
Don't.
You made a mistake. It happens.
I almost killed a girl.
Aww.
You've killed 254 by my last count, plus about 500 men, a few dozen giant spiders, and at least 2 demons.
It's not the same.
Why? Because this one you feel bad about? Maybe that's the problem.
Varric has a point. I mean, we've killed a lot of people. A lot.
This one time, I was sailing to Lemerin, and there was a fight between 2 of my men. It was over a dice game, or the last piece of toast or something. Sailors, they're touchy about their toast.
Is this going anywhere?
It will if you let me finish. So, there's a knife fight, and Jim ends up with a broken-off blade stuck in his shoulder. It's very deep in there, and we're out at sea at least a week from the nearest port. If you were there, you could have reached in and plucked that blade right from his flesh.
That's your whole point?
Pretty much.
So, choir boy, this usurper of yours is, 20 feet tall?
Not even close, no.
But he has claws for hands, right?
Fingers. Perfectly normal ones. If a little fat, perhaps.
He eats babies, though, and farts fire.
You're not serious, I hope.
You can't even pretend to be interesting, can you?
So I hear you think mages should be free.
Everyone should be free, not just mages.
Not everyone's dangerous.
It's not about who's dangerous. It's about having choices made for you.
Uh-oh.
Don't you wish you had the choice not to have lyrium stuck under your skin?
I do.
This is silly. I don't want to argue.
Do you want to guess what color my underclothes are again?
Oh yes, that's much more fun.
When Izzy was talking about people making choices for other people, Clive started feeling very guilty about what happened with him and Meryl. Just saying.
Tell us about Starkhaven, choir boy. I'm sure we're all burning with curiosity about your faraway land.
My faraway land? It's inland free marches, not on the moon.
Huh. And here I was hoping.
It's a lot like here, but fewer dead people.
Well, you don't have Hawke.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's not a good feeling, you know,
What?
being an abomination. I just got a taste of your future.
I'm not that foolish. Our relationship is, strictly platonic.
It's like you're trapped in your own body, seeing out your eyes, while someone else moves you like a puppet. And you're trying to scream, to move a single muscle, but there's no escape. Until you look down at the blood on your hands.
Stop it! You're scaring me.
That's the point.
I mean, Meryl, didn't that kind of happen when we were trying to help Fainriel? You know, when you gave in to temptation? I'm just saying.
You know, Fenris, as a brother in the Chantry, I'm allowed to hear confessions.
Why would you tell me this?
I know Daenerys made you do things. I thought you might be more comfortable talking to a friend. You should know. A murder committed under duress is a sin on the one who ordered it, not the one whose hands carried out the deed.
Have I not spoken enough of my past? Does everyone in Kirkwall wish to hear every sordid detail?
Sometimes it's painful to speak, but it's the only way the wound can be lanced.
So I hear you've been visiting the Viscount's gardens, Daisy.
Oh, they're enormous. And they're always empty. Why don't more people go to see them?
Probably because they're private and surrounded by guards.
I thought all those men looked a bit cross.
So you were invested as a brother in the Chantry, right?
I had just taken my vows when I learned my family was killed.
But you gave sermons and took confessions and such, right?
Do you have something you wish to confess?
I just want to know, what do you say when people have questions? What's your answer when someone asks, so, if Andraste preached freedom and ended slavery, why do you lock up mages and keep them as slaves?
No one ever asked that.
That's pretty disappointing. Nobody ever asked that. I mean, Anders just did. I wish that Sebastian actually answered him.
You, Varric, have a very large mouth.
And here I've always looked up to you. What is it now?
There were fistfights in the barracks over who was the model for your guard serial.
Hard in Hightown. Riveting stuff. Everyone loves a dirty guard on the edge.
Varric.
Fine, I'll start his big finish. 3 chapters until Donan Brennakovic retires and opens a tavern on the coast. I sure hope he makes it. He's getting too old for this shit.
You've never come to the alienage, Fenris.
I don't live in the alienage.
Don't you care about the plight of our people? Not even a little bit.
I don't need to visit the alienage to know what they suffer. I know it better than you.
I've lived there for years. I see it firsthand.
And I lived it.
I'm really sad that the two elves aren't getting along.
So, how good is Donick? Is he cocksure?
Just
Wow.
get it out of your system.
Did he curl your toes? Dwarf your beard? Float your frigate? Shank your jury? Grey your warden? Or master your taint?
What?
That's an old one.
Yes, all right. He's an incredibly proficient lover. Happy?
Well, that's rather personal, don't you think?
Donick! I didn't realize you were such a stallion.
Did you step on something sharp, Fenris?
No?
Slam your fingers in a door?
No.
Smack your head on a low beam?
Is there a point to this line of questioning?
Just wondering why you're so cross all the time.
Perhaps it's the inane prodding.
What makes this relic of yours so valuable?
The same thing that makes anything valuable. Someone's willing to pay for it.
That's not evasive.
Look, I didn't get where I am by showing my hand, you know.
No, your hand isn't what I hear you've been showing.
Speaking of things she's been showing.
Avert your eyes, witch.
You said I was dwelling on useless history. But what are you doing? The past is important to you and to all of us. We must know it to move forward.
Yet I have made no deal with a demon to learn of my past. You had a life. You had a family. and you abandoned them to chase after ghosts. We are nothing alike. Don't even begin to think that we are.
That's a really interesting point that Fenris gave. Really fascinating parallelism.
So, this relic you lost, how is it you don't know what it is?
It was in a box.
And you didn't open it? You managed to resist the urge?
It was locked. It was a locked box.
Hasn't stopped you before.
What do you want me to say?
Nothing. I just found it curious, that's all.
So you found your brother.
I did. Wasn't expecting that.
I assume there was a time when you and he were friends.
With Bartrand? No. Just brothers. Occasionally he wasn't insufferable.
And yet you remained at his side.
Too bad he didn't do the same.
Are you all right?
I nearly killed an innocent girl. How could I be all right?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? For me? This could be you. You could be the next monster threatening helpless girls.
Anders, there's no such thing as a good spirit. There never was. All spirits are dangerous. I understood that. I'm sorry that you didn't.
I don't think that's true. There definitely are good spirits. I mean, Wynne had a good spirit. Justice, at least in Awakening, was a good spirit. I disagree with you, Meryl, on that.
You really ought to take that offer, Elf. It'd keep the coterie off your back pretty much permanently.
I don't need employment.
But it wouldn't kill you to make some friends in this city. 3 years and you're practically a ghost.
I prefer it that way.
Healthy attitude there. Forget I said anything.
You could get another cat, you know.
Aww.
There's one in the Lowtown market with a litter of kittens ready to wean.
You don't pay attention to Templars, Qunari, or politics, but you notice kittens.
Don't you?
Templars, Qunari, and politics don't meow and attack your feet when you're buying food.
Are there any tabbies? I'd like a tabby.
You should take note of that, Clive. You should take note of that.
You know, if you need advice on how to lay low, I can give you some.
Being short would make for an excellent start, I suspect.
Keep that up, Sirrah, and you can keep on hiding like a rank amateur.
What would you suggest, Varric? Cower in the shadows like a rat?
You could try wearing something that didn't scream, "I hate you all, I was a slave."
The markings would still show.
Really? Through anything? That's kinda cool.
You're glaring, Anders. Is there a reason, or is it one of your moods?
Your term as captain hasn't been particularly mage-friendly.
I've only turned a handful over to the Templars.
Every despot starts somewhere.
And yet I allow an abomination to whine at me. Credit where it's due.
True. She has a point there, Anders.
Why a mirror?
I don't understand the question.
If your people were going to make a magical whatever for talking to each other, why choose a mirror? Do elves spend a lot of time talking to their own reflections?
I suppose the ancient elves would have felt silly talking to a wardrobe or an urn.
Is there something you want, Anders?
You really don't have the temperament for a slave.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I'm just wondering how your master didn't kill you.
How have the Templars not killed you?
I'm charming.
You were very close to losing your printing blocks, Varric.
Once more, I am falsely accused of whatever it is I am accused of. Falsely.
Someone swapped the text of my recruitment poster with some filth from the Blooming Rose.
Ooh, that does sound pretty good.
Sure. Fill the barracks with whores. But you also fill the Rose with guards.
It is true what they say. The best comedy comes from tragedy.
Did you ever think about killing yourself?
I could ask you the same thing.
I'm serious. To get out of slavery, to escape Daenerys. Don't tell me you never thought about it.
I did not. To kill oneself is a sin in the eyes of the Maker.
You believe that?
I try to. Some things must be worse than slavery.
Some things are worse than death.
It's been very exciting working with Hawke.
Are you for real?
It seems like he's involved every time there's a crisis in Kirkwall. I've never had so many opportunities to help people.
All right. I thought I was getting tired of Moody. I take it back. You're making my teeth ache.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there.
You're probably right.
There, your magic would be a mark of honor. Apprentice to the right magister, you would do well.
Is there a downside?
Only if you're bothered by owning a few slaves and performing the occasional blood ritual.
So they all do those things?
Just the ones who don't complain about how powerless and persecuted they are.
Do you ever have any regrets?
About what?
Anything? Everything? I can't figure you out.
The past's past. I learned that young. If it can't bring you gold or giggles, what's the point in dwelling on it?
Maybe the chance to fix a mistake? Make things right again?
Hey? Our mistakes make us who we are.
That was almost profound.
If you've got something to say, just spit it out.
Are you sure you want to encourage me? I might be about to confess my undying love.
I get that a lot. So what's on your mind?
I just realized it's been a while since any of the gangs in the Undercity came to my door.
They're busy people. Places to go, throats to cut. Maybe you've slipped their minds.
Right. The apostate running the free clinic in the sewers. Easy to forget. You didn't have anything to do with this?
You must have me confused with someone else. I'm just a businessman and a storyteller.
So you're two people. Anders and Justice.
That's not strictly accurate.
But you are of two minds.
Many people are.
Now you're the one not being accurate.
I thought those were the rules of this game.
I never know who I'm talking to with you.
Then it's fortunate it doesn't occur often.
Yeesh, these people really don't like each other.
I seem to recall you saying something a while ago.
Shut up.
I can control it. Wasn't that what you said?
So help me. You do have an opinion on mages, don't you?
Of course I do. I just don't feel a constant need to bring it up. Mages don't worry me. And I don't believe the Templars when they say I should be worried. I'm more likely to be shanked in a bar than eaten by an abomination. You can hear those coming a mile away. Grrr. Arg. Oh, is that an abomination coming to eat us? We should get out of here.
Abominations don't go grrr, arg.
They don't? I should rethink the whole thing then.
I think they go grr arg. Okay, guys, I think that about wraps up all of the banter that I was able to, bring about for this session. While we're on the topic, I did want to say that, in general, just as a major critique for Dragon Age 2, and I mean I have a lot of critiques for Dragon Age 2, but while we're on this topic, I always favored the Dragon Age Origins banter way more than the Dragon Age 2. I don't know, it's just, I think there was something about the Dragon Age Origins banter that made them more charming, more humorous, more amusing and entertaining to listen to, whereas in the Dragon Age 2, I mean, there are a few select, ones that actually made me laugh out loud, but compared to Dragon Age Origins, there were so far few in between, and some of the banter just seemed to fall flat. And I think a lot of the reasons why I tend to not like the Dragon Age 2 banter as much is because it so much of the banter, I'd say 80% of the banter, makes you feel like these companions just really don't like each other. Like, when Morrigan is poking fun and ridiculing Alistair, she does it in a way where you can still tell that there's something, there's more to it than just utter contempt. There's more behind it than just contempt. I mean, a lot of it is because she's trying to find amusement, and it's not completely because she really genuinely hates Alistair's guts, because I don't think she actually does. And, you know, there are many instances where where characters from Origins, you know, they banter and they argue as if they don't like each other, but you can still tell that they actually do, somewhere deep in their hearts, care about each other. Here in Dragon Age 2, I don't get that as much. It just really feels like, you know, a lot of the, you know, things that they're saying to each other is just so vile and just feels genuinely like I can't stand you and I hate you, and I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not as pleasant for me and entertaining for me. But anyway, that's just my little critique while I was talking about, you know, banter and stuff. So anyway, thanks guys for watching this episode of Gay Let's Play Dragon Age 2. In the next episode, we're going to start off the events that will wrap up Act 2. And I'll see you guys then. Until then, love yourselves and love each other.